lot of people, cause I've been a
What's
lot of
going
places.
on,
Might
world?
forget a name, but I don't
Rocking with the
forget
young man
faces.
Nuke,
My
and this
game
is
been
Fresh
tight
Radio,
for
where I
4
bring you
centuries.
family, revolution, edutainment, spirituality, health, and hip hop all in one show. So listen, I'm starting my 2 days or 2 shows a day thing today. I might even do more in the future. I'm looking at the way that things are in the world, and even though I am comfortable doing one show, I think that 2 shows would be better. But then at the same breath, if I can do as many shows as possible within a set time frame, I think I might go ahead and do that. You know, everything could be chopped down and screwed up and digitized and streamed at a later date. So yeah, you know, I might do it like that. Who knows? Not me. I'm just out here rocking it like this for real, for real. So, you know, I want to start this. I think I may have mentioned it somewhere else, but I know I want to do a book reading thing. I don't want to call it a book club because I don't want you to go out and buy a book and then, you know, you're predicate on me reading the book along with you and following along and everything. That's not going to happen. I'm sorry, not at this point. But I am going to start talking about the books that I'm reading. I've been buying books with the intent of reading them lately, and I have not read any books. I haven't read any books in a long time. I've listened to a couple ebooks, and, you know, a friend of mine was all like, yo, you know, if you're listening to a book, that counts as reading it too. So, hey, listen, I'm going to go by what she says, because, yeah, she does a lot of reading, and like, yeah, I in many ways, I look up to her. So, yeah, I am going to start with this particular book that I picked up last year sometime. The Big Panda and Tiny Dragon by James Norbury. And it's an international bestseller. Basically, it is a book that talks about finding yourself in so many ways. You know, I don't know. I haven't even cracked open the cover. I just did right now while we're on the phone. And, you know, I really want to delve into it. You know, the dedication is to everyone who gets lost. So yeah, I want to make sure that's a thing. I am going to tap back in weekly. Maybe I'll pick a day to talk about the book, you know, where I am in the book. But I know that today is going to be the day that I pick up this particular book and start reading. So maybe whenever I finish reading the book will be the day that I continue doing these type of segments. You know, my whole intention at this point is to continue to provide different programmings or different shows or different avenues of thinking on a regular basis. You know, you know, Thursdays is the days that I talk about the health coverage or health insurance. You know, I want to make sure that the people that listen to me are very well in tune with what's going on in the healthcare industry. You know, there's a lot of different industries out there. I'm a part of the entertainment industry, but also I am also a part of the health industry, and I may be a part of another industry as well. But, you know, I used to be in logistics, you know, transportation when I was a truck driver. I mean, and those are actually a real thing. I was customer service in the what is that called? I mean, the service industry, you dig? So, I mean, I've been a part of those different industries in my life, and it just so happens that I can speak about it. So, you know, I want to make sure that I'm covering my bases when I cover my bases, and that's where this is going to go for. I am going to make sure that I can keep consistent with reading. You know, 10 pages a day, bare minimum. And, you know, I'm going to carve out that time. I'm going to stay off my cell phone. I am going to stay off my cell phone. Even as of right now, I left my phone in the house about an hour ago. And maybe I need to go get back and get it because I probably received it from phone calls for some meetings. I don't think I have on the calendar. But, yeah, I know that I just want to be a better person. I am going to be a better person. I am working on those things for sure. Coming into alignment with who I truly am and what I truly want, you know. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it right now. And reading this book or reading books in particular is definitely going to be the catalyst to becoming who I want to be. So who I am destined to be. So yeah, that's what this is. And if you ever followed me on the Instagram or even on the social media, you know that I'm an avid reader, or that I used to be an avid reader. I used to read a book in a couple of days, for real. It just depended on what it was, and it depended on where I got going on. And so at this point in my life, yeah, I want to get back to doing that. I want to, not that I want to, I am going to get back to doing that. There is no time frame, but right now, and even as of right now, I am in the process of cleaning up my household. My grandmother has took a vacation, so I have to make sure that this house is tip top, ship shop by the time she gets back, and that's what I'm going to do. So I really need to take heed and just tap in and make sure that by the time she gets back, I am going to be a whole completely different person, and so is her household to a degree. I ain't going to change too much. I did that before to one of my grandmothers, and she was pissed. I won't even hold you up. But, moving forward, I definitely would encourage anyone out there to read. I was actually part of a literacy foundation on Twitter. I can't remember my man's name, but I was advocate. Not saying he chose me, but he encouraged me to be an advocate, a voice for literacy, and I need to get back to doing that. You dig? I have children at this point now, and I want my children to be able to read more. I want them to get off their cell phones and read. I want them to take into the things that they got going on in the world, and I want them to read. I want them to do those things. So yeah, that's the problem. That's not the problem. That's the solution, and I'm going to tackle all the problems in that way. Yeah, so if you have any recommendations, please keep them to yourself. I'm kidding, not really, but I don't typically read fiction, and this particular book is a fiction book. It's but there's a life lesson into it. So I don't know how it goes. Like, there's people out there who swear up and down by, what is it, The Alchemist. I used to own that book. I tried to look for it. I can't find it. I don't know where it's at, but I used to own The Alchemist, and that was supposed to be a dope book that was recommended by a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons. And I tried to crack it open, but for some reason I couldn't. Maybe it was my immaturity at the time, so I might need to look at that up again. But I am open to reading a lot of different things, but I don't know. I just don't want to disappoint anybody, and you recommend a book and I just don't pick it up. Like I was recommended Shada Shakur, and I didn't her autobiography. I started to read that digitally, and I could not do that for whatever reason. I think it was because I was on the plane and people were playing. Doing too much, and it seems like every time I get on the plane and I'm reading on the plane, the person next to me just wants to talk to me. Oh, what are you reading? Oh, that sounds interesting. My cat just died, and I want to talk about my cat right now because you look like you're busy. Like, I don't want to be rude and say, hey, mother, Scoocher, if you don't get up out my face and allow me to read this book, I don't know who you are, and you might give me COVID, you son of a punk biscuit. See, that's kind of rude. But I don't know who's more rude, the person interrupting the book or reading, or the person who's responding to that interruption. I don't know. Either way, you dig? I am going to sign out of here so I can get up to doing my thing. But yeah, that's the goal. The goal is to tackle this twice a day and to start reading and get on point, stay on topic, stay on task, and you be blessed today. And if you haven't already, I want you to start your reading journey with my poetry book, Drawn Poetically. It has I think about like over 70 pages, or excuse me, it has over 100 pages, but it has over 70 poems of me just spilling out my soul on a piece of paper and allowing you to read the language of my soul. Yes. Drawn Poetically on my webpage, nuknoe.com. And check me out, have at it. And also, if you are in the music industry and you need to know a little bit more about your royalty collections, man, definitely slide over to the Royalty Collection Guide. That has just just like a little overview of some things that you may not know. Maybe you do know. Maybe you need some direction. I'm not even sure, but I'm trying to get my girl Gigi Miller up on here so she can explain it into a lot more in depth. I built my book based upon information that she gave me, and even then I was just taking notes, and the notes I took turned into, it wasn't even necessarily the notes I took with her, but it was during the course of me looking for information that can help coincide with what she gave me. And the notes that I also had, I purchased a program, or I purchased some information for I think $5 or $10, and it was the most wackish thing ever in life. So I decided to build my own version of that information that I got from them. And my friend told me I should sell it for $20. I'm only selling it for $10. I think it's only for $5 at this point, but maybe I should raise it back to $10 because it's packed full of information. It's real put together nicely. And that's where we're at with it right now. I appreciate you listening to this point. And if you wanted to get in touch with me, holla at me, NUK no E, at all social medias. You can also hit the webpage nuknoe.link, and you can get all my links on there, the WordPress, the Facebooks, and the Twitters and Threads and all those other things. Appreciate y'all listening to the Young Man Nuke, and this has been another episode of FRESHH Radio, where I bring you the family revolution, edutainment, spirituality, health, and hip-hop all in one show. Y'all be smooth. Peace.
I know a lot of people cause I've been a lot of places. Might forget a name, but I don't forget faces. My game been tight for a quarter century, cause I still speak to people that I met in elementary. The only rule